God, I love that shit. Welcome into Derelict Sports. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into Derelict Sports. My name's Nick. I'll be your host for the next couple hours. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. One more day, and we are at AFC NFC Championship weekend. We are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. But we got a few things that happened today that we're going to chat about. Dale, of course, will be joining me here in a few minutes, as well as the front office. Today, we're going to be going through the AFC NFC Championship games. We're going to be breaking those down head to toe, giving you our predictions, some thoughts we've had on there, on those games that are how those are going to go out this weekend. We've had a pretty crazy day going on today in sports. A lot of news coming out. Jimmy Butler news coming out. We got a pretty crazy situation going on in Tampa with Jacksonville and the coordinator there and the head coach position going on. The hiring situation in Jacksonville. So we'll talk about that. A few minutes ago, we just had the NBA All-Stars starters announced. So we will talk about those before we get anything else. And then I know there was something else. I was pretty sure there was something else. Maybe not. But like I said, we got a decent amount of stuff to talk about the next couple hours. Sit back, relax. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. Starting to warm up out there, seeing some sun. We are in double digits here in St. Louis, so it is a beautiful thing. But like I said, we got a big weekend of sports ahead of us. 2 NFC games, or NFC AFC games. Oh, there's Dale right there. What's up, Dale? Maybe not. Maybe not. But like I said, we got we'll look at our bets. We got some bets we're gonna pull up here in a minute. We got a prize picks I just locked in a few minutes ago, so we'll look at that. Damn, we have been ice cold betting here the last few days, but the last week. So today we've got to turn it around. We're already 0 for 1. Victor Wembanyama in the Paris game. That was not good. Can you hear me, Dale, or what's going on here? I said hi to you about 4 times, and you're just waving like an idiot. So we're gonna figure Dale's situation out. Jesus fucking Christ! But
I can hear.
So we're not doing too well in betting right now. So we're gonna try to turn that around today. We got three underdogs. I don't know how the fuck we ended up. This first time since we started this that we've ever bet on 3 underdogs. Let's try to bring him back up. Hello. All right. So no. Yeah, so we got 3 dogs today, dude. I don't know how we even got that, how we've gotten to this point, but we're shooting we're throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. But we got some good ones tonight. I feel confident in these. We got the Blues that are just about to kick off here in a few minutes at home against the Knights. That should be pretty good. We just beat them a few games ago. Vegas been pretty good, but I think the Blues are turning in the right direction, playing at home, hard place to come into. So I think they're going to be rocking and rolled tonight. I think we got the Blues winning that one. We got the Bulls taking Golden State. Bulls have been pretty shaky, obviously, in Golden State, also has been pretty shaky, but they just played last night. Pretty big win last night. They actually were our only win yesterday. So that's just the name of the game. Turn around betting against them today. So we got Chicago over them today. That'll be kicking off a little later at 9 o'clock. And then late tonight, 10 p.m. my time. We got Wisconsin versus somebody. This is a Dale bet. Washington State versus Santa Clara, which is I'm assuming basketball. So we, shot in the fucking wind right there, boys. So hopefully we'll get hopefully a couple of these will hit. We'll walk out of this some winners. We already lost a prize pick today because Victor dude, Chris Paul today. I had Chris Paul for over 1.5 threes, over 5.5 points. Didn't hit either goddamn one. How is that a thing? How is Chris Paul not get 6 points? He was like 1 of 5 from 3. Shit pisses me off. Not very good. So not a good start to today, but we're going to try to turn this around tonight. Once the boys get here, we'll get settled in. We'll talk a few, we'll get into some of these sports stories from today, and then we'll hop right into the AFC NFC championship games. I would like for Dale to show. Here he is. Hello.
Hello? Hear me.
Jesus. Yeah, I can hear you. Good Lord. We got to figure this out, dude. I'm going to send
Fuck.
you. We're going to get you. No, I can hear you. Hello. Nope, I can't hear you. So, I don't know. This is ridiculous, but we're going to once everybody figures this out, we're going to get into some of this shit. Hopefully the front office will be here shortly too. So I really want to talk about this situation going on in Tampa Bay. I mean, this Tampa Bay Jackson, I've never seen some shit like this ever in my life. Ever. I'm also looking at these NBA All-Star starters. This is a pretty good lineup. Last year I thought there were some misses. This year I think these are pretty dead on. Them West All-Stars boys. Oh my goodness. That is, I mean, both of them are stacked. Obviously, they're all-star teams, but let me tell you something. That fucking West All-Star team is filth. Absolute filth. Now, I assume we went back to voting. I don't know how this happened. I think we're just at West East. I don't think they're doing the last couple years. They've had like captains drafting motherfuckers and stuff like that. I don't know. So this year it looks like they're just back to East and West, I assume. I mean, you never know what they're doing in any of these all-star games. Every year they're changing. They're trying to figure out a formula that's going to work. Everything, how do we keep people entertained? How do we keep people in nobody can figure it out. I mean, everybody tunes in for a second to see like, hey, did they fix it? And then quickly you realize they didn't, or people just don't tune in at all. And I think that's a lot like NHL. Who cares? The NBA, you might tune in for a second. NFL, nobody fucking watches I don't even think there is. Is there a Pro Bowl or is it just mini games and shit? No, I think it might just be mini games. But nobody watches that shit. The NBA, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what they do. But we'll go over the teams once everybody gets here. But I'm pretty excited about these football games this weekend. We got a great weekend of football ahead of us. I believe both games are on Sunday. We're into the last few weeks of football. We have, the Saturday games are over. We're down to the last four. I believe one is in mid-afternoon. One is, one's at 2, one's at 5:30. So that'll be a few weeks. We're gonna be dire here, boys. I mean, basketball will obviously be around, thank goodness. But I mean, we are in that spot of, hockey and basketball, which I love them both, but you know, then those will go to the playoffs. That's kind of what we're just waiting on. We're waiting for them to go. Both of them just go to the playoffs, but and then once they go to the playoffs, then everything else starts to hit off. Baseball starts kicking off. You know, then once all that shit happens, football's starting. You smell football again. But these games are going to be great. I really am excited about this. Eagles, Commanders. I mean, NFC East championship game, NFC East division, or NFC championship game is insane. Bills Chiefs. That's going to be obviously a banger. I think it's funny that Mahomes is like, oh, I don't understand what you guys are talking about. But all this, I've never noticed the discrepancy in fouls. I don't really get it. What you guys are talking about here? What's going on here? Dale's probably breaking shit in his house right now, trying to figure this out. All right, while we're waiting on him, we're just going to get into this situation going on with Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, obviously we know they've been they just fired Trent Baalke. We've talked about them in the last couple of weeks. They got rid of my boy Dougie P, which the writing was on the wall there. I think everybody saw that coming. Rough year in Jacksonville for the boy, but it is what it is. Time for sometimes it's just you got to move on. I'm going to be interested to see if Doug Peterson gets another shot in the NFL right away, or maybe he takes a year off. I'm not really sure. It seems like both of his last tenures had started great, didn't end great. So I'll be interested to see what happens there. But obviously they're in the news they're in the market for a new head coach. Everyone's kind of surprised that they kept Trent Baalke around. They're like, well, why would you get rid of Doug Peterson? Keep the GM. It's probably going to be pretty hard to lure in a new head coach with keeping the GM around. And it sure as shit, that's what happened. Couldn't having trouble bringing in people for head coaching interviews. People weren't interested in the job because you usually want to start with a clean slate. Nobody wants to come in, play with the old GM, especially the guy that didn't work out and the last guy. You kind of want to come in and do your thing and kind of have a hand in that, right? So having troubles bringing in people. Well, turns out that Khan was like, well, fuck this. Realize that. Got Trent Baalke up out of there yesterday. He got fired. And now there is the news of Robert Saleh is now in there, is apparently there right now and interviewing tomorrow. But Liam Cohen, who is the offensive coordinator, I believe. Yeah, he is the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right, great year. Had Baker balling, had the boys clicking on all cylinders. Bucks had a great year. Mike Evans, another 1,000-yard year. Chris Godwin goes down. They still win games, still make the playoffs, or so great year, great coach. But with the news of him taking a head coach interview in Jacksonville, the Buccaneers said, "Well, hold on a second. We are not sure that we're ready to let you go. We will give you a giant pay raise to stay here." Okay, so he says, well, if that's the case, I'll remove myself from the head coaching discussion in Jacksonville, and I will stick around as the offensive coordinator, and we will keep this thing going, right? Well, the reason he was doing this, even considering, because there are guys out there who don't care about the money, right? I mean, the money's always important, but they want the head coach spot. They might take a little less money. That maybe them offering money to stay in the coordinator position, to stay exactly where we are. That doesn't matter to some guys, right? So he's like, I would have taken that Jacksonville. Apparently, he would have taken the Jacksonville job if Trent Baalke wasn't there, right? He didn't like the idea of, like I said, people coming in, do a job, and having a GM there and not being able to have a hand in that. So he is basically removing himself from the situation, told the Buccaneers that's what he's going to do. He's going to come back. He's going to come back. He's going to take the Buccaneers, right? Well, he had not signed that contract yet. He never actually signed the contract. And after they fired Trent Baalke yesterday, they reached back out to him and said, hey, we know you haven't signed that contract. Would you maybe think about rethinking? Well, sure as shit. He says, of course. Yeah, let's go. Sounds good to me. Well, he has ghosted the Buccaneers since then. He has apparently been in Jacksonville all day trying to get a deal done. He's been lying to the Buccaneers. Apparently, they can't get a hold of him. They said that Todd Bowles, Liam Cohen informed Todd, this is Dov climate, who knows what Dov's saying, but this is, what's his name? Ari Mirov or whatever, my sports update on Twitter. Pretty reliable guy. He's saying all saying all the same stuff. They said that he spoke to Todd Bowles today around 5 p.m. and told him he was at a doctor's office with his sick child. Liam briefly mentioned the Jacksonville situation, saying he wanted to look back into it. And actually, so it turns out there is no sick child. He's just been in Jacksonville trying to figure out the head coach situation. I guess hammer down a deal, get a deal done, get a contract done, and has just entirely ignored Tampa Bay. So they can't even get into contact with him. They're thinking he's at the doctor. They can't get a hold of him all day. Then they get a hold of him. They think, damn, he's to the doctor. His kid's sick. This is fucking weird. What is going on? Boom. He's in the same state. My boy is a couple cities over, hammering down a deal. That's what he's doing. There he is. Let's try this again. He looks extremely happy. Hello, Dale. Oh, that's not a good start. Hello, Dale. This is insane. Yeah. We got to get Dale's internet figured out. This is fucking ridiculous, to be completely honest. Maybe the front office will show up. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. It's going to be an interesting 2 hours. That was going to be a pretty good show today. Thought we were going to get through this without any technical difficulties. Nope. Not around here, ladies and gentlemen. Not around fucking here. Damn. All right. Well, Robert Saleh, 59 seconds ago, 49ers are expected to hire Robert Saleh as their new defensive coordinator. So, to me, that says he is not going to take the Jacksonville job, not in the running. Looks like Liam Cohen. In my opinion, this looks like this gives us our answer. He's not going back to the Bucs. He said, fuck you guys. I'm going to Jacksonville. Khan's about to give me the keys and give me the fat. I would assume he's probably going to be like, well, you're at least going to pay me what the fuck I was getting in Tampa. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are such a dog shit organization, and that guy is such a desperate fuck that he's probably going to do it. So props to Liam, dude. Shout out to Liam. Get the bag. Go get the bag. Kind of odd the way you did it. Kind of weird. But hey, everybody's got their way. Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody needs a second chance. Oh, you want a piece of my heart? Look at this, dude. The return to Twitch is going to be crazy. I wish we could do some shit like this. These guys are out here just having... These guys are just not even live yet, and he's got people subbing and going live. That must be nice, dude. Highway to the danger zone. I want to know about this Liam guy. See if anything's going on, or Cohen, Liam Cohen. So what changed? So Diana Rossini, 29 minutes ago. What changed for Liam Cohen? Got on a plane to Jacksonville after Jags ownership called him directly explained they will let him pick the general manager and pay him Ben Johnson level money along with multiple years. Woo! Woo! I mean, yeah, that's a fucking. What are you gonna do there, folks? That's a desperation move, is what that is, if you ask me. But we're gonna give our boy 5 more minutes, and if he's not done, we're gonna just hop right into this shit. Let me tell you. Let me tell you that. Shoot him a text. Fucking Blues are already down 1-0, it looks like. Not good. Damn, are we just on your phone?
We're going to just fucking figure it out for an hour.
Dude, is this your phone?
This is my phone.
We might just need to start doing, you've never looked this clear ever.
This is scary.
Like there's no delay and you are as clear as you've ever been.
Maybe I'll have to set something up with my phone and so we'll just
maybe shoot off the phone and do all your other stuff off the computer.
Yeah, that may not be the worst idea in the world.
Dude, this is Dale, I have pre-cum in my pants right now. That's how this is so smooth.
This might be what we have to do. I'm sure you can set up like a stand where it'll like hold and I could find like a way to like get it charged at the same time so it would.
Dude, I have a stand. I'm looking at one that does that right behind my face. You get for the first, like when we first started the original podcast back in the day, Pop Culture Rehab.
Yep.
That for the first like 6 months, I shot off my phone. And I actually, when the front office used to show his face on screen, he used his phone as well.
Oh, nice.
So
maybe this is the option.
Did we just figure it out, dude? Because look at you. I don't think I've ever even seen you. I didn't even know. That's what you look like, dude?
Fuck you and the donkey you rode in on.
Holy shit. This is incredible.
Well, I'm sorry, but it'll be shaky for tonight. So, but that is what it is. So,
dude, I think we're in business, baby. Well, here, the show is now starting. I've just been sitting here. Like, here's the thing. If I know I'm coming into a show by myself, I can rock at that. No problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I was planning on having a 2 to 3 person conversation. And then I'm like, I'm sitting here with my dick in my hand.
and it's not hard. It's floppy.
Not hard.
It's floppy like a little girl.
All right. So did you hear any? So you probably didn't hear anything I said about the Bucs situation, right? Have you heard about any of this?
No, I'm coming into this totally cold, so go ahead.
Okay, so if you remember, we talked when the Jaguars fired Doug Peterson and kept Trent Baalke. That was a dumb decision, right? We talked about why. Of course, you were going to have trouble bringing someone else in because you're keeping the guy that failed the last guy.
Correct.
So they've been interviewing all of these people. Apparently, Robert Saleh, in the time that you got on and had technical difficulties, he is now expected to be the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. He is expected to become that, which I think everybody kind of thought he was. They're talking about making him the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league or whatever.
Right.
But an hour ago, he apparently was in Jacksonville ready to interview for the head coach position tomorrow, which is crazy because Liam Cohen, who is the offensive coordinator of the Bucs, he apparently a couple days ago was like ready to take the deal, but the only hang up was Trent Baalke. He didn't like the situation of not, of coming in and having the GM there already. Well, in the days that since then, it just came out yesterday or the day before, the Bucs were offering him a huge pay raise to stay in Tampa as the offensive coordinator, and he accepted. He's like, so he removed himself from the Jaguars head coaching search, right?
Yep.
Well, he never actually signed yet.
Oh,
And
shit.
Khan apparently called him directly and said, all right, we've got rid of Trent Baalke. We'll pay you Ben Johnson money and let you pick a GM, your own GM. Would you think about reconsidering? Well, he says yes. And apparently, he has been in Jacksonville all day long. The Bucs have not been able, who are now operating as if he's signed this deal. He's ready to be the offensive coordinator. They've been calling him all day because he's not around. Can't get a hold of him. Well, Todd Bowles finally gets a hold of him at like 5 p.m. He tells Todd Bowles, I'm at the doctor with my sick child.
Oh, this is great.
So, but in reality, he's calling them from the Jaguars facility where he's at, hammering out a deal live right now. So
Wow.
this all came out in the last hour, right? So
Okay.
that's fucking crazy. Everybody's like, what is going on? He just ghosted the Buccaneers. He's like, dude, fuck that. Like, I'm just, which, nobody would blame him for backing out and taking the deal if Khan, who's in desperation mode, calls you because sometimes the money's not everything. You just would rather get out of the coordinator spot and become a head coach, right? It's a legacy thing. It's a boom. I've wanted to be a head coach forever, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a thing. So nobody would blame him, but the fact that he's like just basically like ignoring the Buccaneers, he's like, bro, my kid's sick.
Wow, that is wild. Like, there's only 32 of those opportunities too, so you gotta like when you can take it, you gotta take it. But wow, that is Jesus, that is scary. Like that's a wild situation.
Well, and the craziest thing is that after all this happened, it was then they came out and said Robert Saleh is in Jacksonville right now, and he's going to interview tomorrow. So everybody's like, well, what in the fuck? Like, so why are they interviewing Robert Saleh if this guy is straight up ignoring the Buccaneers for him? Well, it happened, like I said, before you're gone. When you're gone, they hired him. Apparently, they're hiring him in the 49ers. So to me, if you do to me that all signs I assuming are pointing to this Liam Cohen taking the Jacksonville job is what I would assume.
I know we've got a finite amount of time tonight because I got to go get my kid's getting his Taekwondo belt.
Let's
But
go.
yeah, we got about an hour. You're good. We're good. But man, there's some legal shit that could be happening too. Like what? So like Bill Belichick's deal is kind of, they have a deal in place, but there isn't a concrete contract the way I understand it. So I wonder if that's how they get it. It's like they've agreed upon it, they've shaken hands, but pen hasn't come to paper to make it legal. And this is how he gets out of it. Like, man, that is wild.
Dude, I mean, that's insane. I mean, and it only makes sense that this is happening for the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? I mean, of course, this is one of the few teams. Like, if this was happening to the Browns, I don't think anybody would be super shocked. If there's there's a handful of teams out there, the Panthers. If David Tepper did this, people would be like, "Well, of course David Tepper did this." I mean,
Tennessee,
that guy's a
the
fucking idiot.
Jets.
The
Yeah,
Jets.
there's like 8 franchises that you would not be shocked that this tomfoolery is happening.
But it's just like, of course the fuck it is. And it's what the fuck else was that? I just had a thought, and that thought just left my brain. But yeah, this is, of course, this is happening with the Jaguars. So I mean, I apparently this guy's pretty good. I mean, this it would be a good hire, I think. I mean, I'm glad I think Robert Saleh would have been a good hire. But I think that this seems to be a pretty decent hire. I was just seeing now. So okay, so one of the guys that we talked to on here that I chat to behind the scenes, good sports show. I mean, they're doing way better than we are. We're sitting here talking to 0 folks right now, not even anybody on Twitter right now. We're straight up, it's just you and I right now, dude, just looking into each other's souls. But Drew Code Sports, I believe is what it is. Guys named Drew and Cody. They actually talk to him pretty often on Instagram. We message back and forth. Well, they're Raider fans.
Okay.
They were very upset by Ben Johnson not. They have both actually wanted. Well, at least whoever's replying to me, which I assume is this Drew is who I'm talking about. He wanted Antonio Pierce to stay. He thought that Antonio Pierce didn't get the opportunity he should have, put up with a lot of shit. So he wanted to see him stay. Well, when they got fired, he wanted Ben Johnson. When Ben Johnson got announced for Chicago, because, for a minute there, Chicago's another one of those franchises we just talked about. If that would have happened, nobody's surprised. And Ben Johnson, everybody thought that was a lock a few weeks ago, but then all of this Raider noise started happening, and you're like, well, of course the Bears would fuck this up, right? Of course the Bears would stall or whatever to the point where he goes and gets a job somewhere else. But that didn't happen. He gets a job in Chicago. Well, I asked him, I said, so who do you guys want? He goes, I could flip a table. He's like, I'm so pissed off right now. He's like, this sucks. I'm like, well, who do you guys want next? And I was actually kind of shocked by who they picked. They both are actually in favor of Pete Carroll getting the job, which is now gaining steam pretty heavily.
I have some Pete Carroll hate. There's some USC Pete Carroll hate in me.
Yeah, I mean, look, me too, 100%. Do not like him whatsoever. I asked him. I kind of had him explain it. I do agree to an extent that franchise might need somebody that we just said about the Bears, who have kept trying to give older guys the keys, or just kind of like trying like nag, or like just giving the wrong guy the keys. I don't know if the Raiders are a team that a young guy can go in and handle right now. Like, so they were like, Pete Carroll might be the guy that can kind of go in there and be like, this is what's happening.
He might be the guy that gets them to the 3 years, and then when he wears out, and that team's now flirting with 500, that young coach can go and that actually makes more sense than I. Yeah, okay. I don't think Pete Carroll, like, you could do the same thing with Riverboat Ron, which I know you hate. There's a couple other of those type, like a Jack Del Rio. Like,
Yeah, Dale,
somebody.
I would hire a golden retriever with a a fucking emergency dog, emotional support dog, before I hired Ron Rivera.
I know that, but you understand
I
what
get what
like,
you're saying.
Yeah, like the oh yeah, like I'm not quite at that much. Your Riverboat Ron hate is not quite at my level of Pete Carroll hate, but it's in the area code. But Riverboat Ron is massively overrated, and it's crazy to think that he got a team to a Super Bowl.
Unreal. Cam Newton got him that Super Bowl. But it is what it is. Yeah, it fucking when he said Pete Carroll, my eyes got huge, and I'm like, no fucking way. And I left that going. That makes a lot of sense. Like maybe they and look, they're Raider guys, so they would know. That's like if somebody tried to tell like people obviously can tell me what they think about what the Browns need, but like I always feel like, well, I have a little bit more. I watch these guys week in, week out. Like I know maybe more than somebody that just waits to reads on Monday how shitty the Browns were this weekend and all the dump, So,
Right.
if they're telling me that because Antonio Pierce, I just said it in the Ben. We talked about Ben Johnson the other day or yesterday or 2 days ago, about how I love the hire for Chicago that. Antonio Pierce and Robert Saleh are guys that I think that should get chances again. I think Antonio Pierce is a good head coach. Just think he was in a shitty situation, got handed the keys to a dog shit team and organization, and just kind of put up with a lot of shit and then got the boot. I don't know if a guy like maybe Antonio Pierce, that he's not the kind of guy. Maybe you need a guy that can come in there and give them like a calming presence of like, all right,
Oh.
no matter how dog shit the front office is, how crazy these guys are up here, I can't look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like I will get us through this type thing. So
That makes way. When you said that at first, I'm like, that like the conversation you had. It's like, really? And now it's kind of like, in Vegas, that might, with every possible distraction imaginable, maybe just having a old school coach there might not be the worst thing.
yeah, so so we'll see, but apparently that's like really gaining steam, like that's gaining momentum. So it looks like Pete Carroll is going to get a head coach job this year. So whatever. I mean, if they think that's what it is, that's what it is. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe Pete Carroll comes in and does wonderful things. I still think they're gonna. I'm so interested to see what the Raiders are gonna do in this draft, to do everything. I really just don't know if they're going to go into this at wherever they're at now, 8, 9, wherever they're at. I just think they're going to move up, and I don't know. I mean, maybe Dion. I think Dion. I'm starting to think the Dion noise. I don't know if Dion's going anywhere in the NFL this year. I'm starting to think if the Cowboys don't hire him, I don't think anybody's going to hire him.
Yeah,
But
it might be one of those things that insert team that he goes to, and it goes bad. Maybe you look at that in year 2. But I'm kind of with you, and Jerry Jones is a wild card. Jerry Jones might hire that golden retriever with a seeing eye person as well. He's that crazy. So
yeah, I'm. Who knows what they're gonna do? I saw Schottenheimer was a name today thrown around. They were saying might be the guy.
oof.
Brian Schottenheimer, is that his name? Is that the young
Yep.
one?
Yep.
So I don't know, dude. There is just so the NFL is gonna look so different, and it always does look different the year after. But man, this year, I mean, like there is gonna be some big changes coming this year. Teams are gonna look different. Coaches are gonna look different. I mean, Dan Campbell is gonna be fighting for his fucking life against his ex coaches. What's up? What up, E-Block? How you doing, big dog? Yes, sir. Let's go, Eagles.
Good old Eagles.
We're going to break down that game here in just a few minutes, actually. We're going to go through all those games, both of those games. It took us 30 minutes to get started, but we're here.
Well, you started, and I decided to learn the wonders of, hey, my phone works for this. This is a much better idea.
Dude, this is so good. You have no idea.
Oh, it's so much smooth. You want to know how awful it was when we would do the picks, and it'd be like, there's Nick does his thing, and then front office does his thing, and then it's like, and I think front office is done. I'm gonna speak. No, he's not done. Oh, son of a bitch.
Dude, this is literally gorgeous. And I'm going to do this way so I can look at, looks like I'm looking at you. Front office should be here at some point. So hopefully by the time you leave, he's here so we can just
Oh,
kind of pass
perfect.
it off and do the thing. We'll see though. He always
Yeah.
talks. You got the flu. Damn, dude. I hope you feel better, bro. Yeah, it's probably cold as fuck where you're at. It's going around. It's terrible. It warmed up today, but we did get a little snow flurry. Didn't stick, but it was above 30 today, which is beautiful.
That's like -10. So it's probably like flirting with 0 here. A little snow. It's all right.
A little sna.
Hey, it's not -40.
A little sna.
A little snow.
Dude,
Little dusting of snow.
let me tell you, I'm such a fucking degenerate, dude, that I lost those picks today and went and put I just entered I put another lineup right in for tonight for another prize picks lineup. Chris Paul, this is my form before we shit ass. Yeah, I bet shit is ass, and I bet you do have a shit ass, literally. Um, I just gotta say before we get it, because there are a few things before we get into this. Before we get into this, I'm trying to see if front office is gonna get here before we get into the games. But if he's
Yeah.
not here soon, we'll get into it because I know I would rather get a decent majority of it done with you. But we have the NBA All-Star lineups that just got announced about 20 minutes ago, so we're gonna go through those here in a second. What else did I just have? Fuck me in the cheeks, dude. I just had something else.
A lot
Pull
going
up
on
this.
tonight.
There is a lot going on tonight. Let me pull up my. I almost forgot how to share. Dude, what is with all this shit today, dude?
We're extra special today.
Extra spammy today.
That's the better way to word it.
So here's the old prize pick for the night. We're going to see if this is a better view. Hold on. So we got LeBron over 16.5 points. Taurean Prince over 4.5 points. We need him to get going, do something. Jesus Christ. Sabonis over 18.5. Nikola Jokic over 22.5 rebounds and assists. Clayton Keller 1.5. So he just needs one more shot on goal. Come on, big dog. And then we got Jonathan Marshall for half a point. So
nice.
This one is 20 to pay out 220. So we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, well I remember what I was going to say now. Formal, but here we go. I want to give my formal request for Chris Paul to go ahead and fucking retire. Okay, you are ass, dude. Today I had, because I'm still betting off that free promo money, right, that they gave me.
Absolutely.
I had him today. So not only did Victor Wembanyama have like 18 points in the fourth quarter, like halfway through the fourth quarter, and then just went fucking dumb to end with 30.
Mm-hmm.
Self-ooping. Motherfucker self-ooped it to himself. Just doesn't give a shit. I forgot that. If I would have remembered that he was French and they were going to pair, well, of course he was going to drop 30, right? Well, whatever. We can handle that. Chris Paul, right? I took him for over 1.5 3-pointers made and over 5.5 points.
Oof.
He didn't hit either fucking one.
That is bad. Did his hamstring go fall out of his leg again?
Bro, no, he was on the court when the clock hit 00. He was on the court. Dale, he had 3 points. He had 8 rebounds and 7 assists or whatever, of course, you know.
Mm-hmm.
1 of 5 from 3.
Jesus.
I was like, he can hit. I was like, this is a 2-for-1er because you can't put the same guy in a prize pick, right? But I had 2. So I had 1 of all basketball and then 1 of just kind of like some hockey and just some random shit thrown in there.
Yeah.
And so I put in one of them, I put him over 5.5 points, and the other one I picked over 1.5 threes. Because if he hits 2 threes, there's my 5.5 points. So I'm like, it just fucking boom, you know. So I'm like, there it is. That cocksucker didn't get me anything.
That is, yeah.
You got jet lag, Chris?
Are they? I'm assuming they're playing again tomorrow.
Is that the? Maybe
I
I don't know.
I don't know. I just figure if they're going to go over there, they might as well do both games for them for the season and then be done.
That is a good.
Because usually for the hockey ones, that's what they usually do.
Let's see.
Do their home.
That's actually a good question. Let's see. Friday. Okay, yeah. So not tomorrow. Saturday at 11 a.m.
Oh, okay, nice. And I'm assuming the games are in Paris.
In Paris. Front office, dude, you sweet, sweet dicked man. Do you see what it look how have you ever seen Dale look this clear?
What did you do?
Wait a sec.
Got on the phone.
I'm gonna drink to celebrate.
Well, chug the Coke, dude. Look at that.
Jesus.
Look at it, dude.
New era.
Go.
New
era. Instead of getting for the first 30 minutes, like 25 minutes we were on here, it was just me sitting here in silence waiting for him to fix his shit. And then finally, I guess he got fed up and said, "Fuck it, we're gonna shoot off the phone." He got here and he's like, "It's gonna be a shake. We're just gonna have to be shaky and get through this." I go, "Shaky? You look like I could see through you."
The best part is too that now I can like have the laptop available for like the live betting and stuff, so I can like watch shit as I go, and this is gonna be way better. It'll be a little annoying for when the Hey Kid is here and wants to stream and I can't watch stuff live on the TV, but fucking minor details.
Dude, just because the owl comes out at night, my pussy comes out at night. You heard that on you don't have Instagram. But yeah, dude, that's how that makes me feel. I'm fucking stoked to see you. And you're moving in full. You're moving like freely. It's a beautiful thing. So we've been waiting on you to break down these games. We were just chatting about Chris Paul being a bum. So me and you have already talked about that. So I'm going to get you caught up to speed of what we talked about real quick. We did talk about, have you read anything about the situation going on in Tampa Bay?
I am vaguely familiar with it. I can't say that I know everything, but I know the juicy deets. So I can at least,
so you know this guy's like ghosting the Bucks and shit.
Yeah.
And he like told him that his kid was sick.
That part.
I did not know all of that. So he's like I knew that he was like lying to the Bucks, but I didn't know that his excuse was that his kid was sick. What the fuck?
So he just didn't. Nobody could get a hold of him all day. Well, apparently Todd Bowles got a hold of him in the afternoon, and he said he was at the doctor with his kid.
But really, he's taking calls from somebody else.
But in reality, no, he's at the Jacksonville facility trying to get a deal done.
Oh no! You lying fuck!
You piece of shit,
dude. That's bad.
His kid's getting fucking bird flu or whatever the next thing coming through is, dude. Karma's going to get that little fuck. I'm telling you. COVID-2. You're getting it. But what an awful fucking situation. I think it's hilarious, though, for real. I mean, apparently the guy was like, they called him and was like, bro, we'll pay you whatever the fuck you want. Pick the GM. Whatever you want to do. Damn. Of course he's going to take that.
Why would you not?
You don't have to ghost the Bucks, but I do think that's pretty funny. All right, dude. Front office pretty lively tonight, bub. All right, let's go into fucking what?
Watch your shit, motherfucker. 1, 2. I don't have anything to say. If there's scumbag people in Tampa Bay, Florida, color me surprised. Okay, shocker. Could not have guessed that. Did not see that coming.
All right. Well, here, let's move on to the next thing then before we get into these games. So we're going to speed through these because Dale didn't have a super long time. We are still going till 9, though. All right. So here we go. NBA All-Star lineups just got announced, or at least the starters. So we're going to go West first. The West, gigantic balls. This team is stacked out of their ass. I assume, I guess I kind of talked about this while I was waiting for Dale to get his shit together. I assume that we are now if it's giving us the West and East All-Stars starters, I assume we are back to East and West. Or has it been East and West the last couple of years, or wasn't it just All-Stars and then guys were wasn't it just like they were just drafting from All-Stars? So there really
Yes.
wasn't an East versus West thing.
Yeah, it was like LeBron and Giannis drafting teams.
Yeah. I thought they did that for like 2 or 3 years at least.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're back to this. Give me East versus West. Let's clean because obviously every single sport right now is just fighting to figure out how to keep this shit alive because they're all dog shit. I mean, like right now, look at the dunk contest lineup. I don't even know them. They said today they're like he finally came to the dunk contest. I'm like didn't even know that guy was an NBA player. Had no idea. So I don't care about that shit. So let's maybe go back to East versus West. Let's figure it out. But West stacked. So let's go through it. Steph Curry at the guard. Shai Gilgeous, obviously, who just dropped 54 last night. Balls are huge. Shout out to that. Well deserved. SGA, baby. Apparently, he's a minus 600 favorite right now to win MVP. So let's go. Dude, the Canadian, dude. The Canadian. You need to get a Shai Gilgeous.
From Canada, though?
He is from Canada. He's a Canadian.
How do we know?
Oh, God.
Well, dude, we'll watch him post on Instagram and his little flair that he's got. Yeah, he's Canadian.
I'm just taking a little stab at Dale. Damn, guys.
Oh, I know you are. I'm just saying, but dude, all you gotta do is look at his little that flamboyance. You only get that from the north. Yeah, dude. The caption game is undefeated. I don't know if you guys are. I mean, I know front office is on Instagram, but if you're on Instagram and you follow SGA, that guy. I mean, he has to spend hours on his captions. They are just always something else. So we got SGA, KD, who I guess is probably having a good year. I don't know anything about the Suns. I know the Suns aren't very good. I know Bradley Beal is whatever. He sucks. Of course that was never going to work. Everybody knew that. I think they're like 500. But I guess KD is doing KD things, I would assume. He's Kevin Durant. So go ahead and give him the spot. LeBron, of course, LeBron's going to be in there. LeBron, I mean.
Damn right.
22 years, the guy is playing still out of. I mean, there are nights where he has off nights, obviously, because he's 40. But most nights he is still. I mean, you still get triple-double. I think he was just the other night. He was the oldest guy or one of the second guy to ever have a 40-point triple-double after 40 or 30-point, whatever. I mean, the guy just every night he steps on the court is a record.
It is painfully obvious who doesn't deserve it in the starting lineup.
Steph Curry.
It's Kevin Durant. Oh
yeah.
I was Kevin Durant.
I was gonna say Kevin Durant probably because I was gonna say it was one of those two because obviously SGA, LeBron, Jokic are locked.
And I would always lock Steph in there too. I don't really know if he's having that good of a year, but he is at that level where it doesn't matter.
It's interesting that he told the front office not to worry about improving the lineup this year, which is interesting.
Yeah, how does that work?
He apparently told them, from what I was watching ESPN or something the other day or something, they were like, he went to the front office and basically said don't go make a desperation move. Like this lineup is a lot more than one guy away than to making a run. So don't go make some desperation move for nothing. Basically, we'll figure this out after the year type thing. So pretty odd, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit. That's an all-star. Who knows? All right, East. Let's go to the East. This one obviously is pretty stacked too, but to me it doesn't have any. It's not the West. Jalen Brunson fucking
doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, I don't know. This kind of crazy.
It straight up doesn't deserve. Jalen Brunson has been a all-star in past years, no doubt about it. He's not an all-star this year. I'm sorry.
Dale?
That's how I feel.
It's indifferent. Don't have a strong opinion either way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's. I think he's had kind of a down year so far. I don't know if he is an all-star. Obviously, Big Don. Don's been great this year. I'm very glad he's starting. Deserved. Only averaging 22 points the last 10, 15 games or this last month or something. So he needs to. I know
I think we have a shadow injury. Seriously.
He might.
That's my take. He just hasn't looked right. You know what I mean? He hasn't looked right. Maybe we're just coming back from a mild injury or something. It's okay. We're 36-7. I'm not
Speaking
sweating,
of not looking right, we were gonna get Darius Garland tattoos till that son of a bitch went to the free throw line last night. 90% free throw shooter. 90%. He hits him with his motherfucking eyes closed. Gets fouled. Flagrant foul with like 2 seconds, 3 seconds left. 3 shots, you're down 2, and you get the ball back. Front office and I are literally LMAOing each other. We're not even giving thoughts. We're just going, Lamau, because we're going, these guys are fucking idiots. Did they really just foul him to DG? 90% DG? The PG? From 3? Well, they did. And that cocksucker stepped up to the line, missed the first 2 free throws.
Oh, but don't worry. We drained the third one, dude.
Drained
the third one.
The third one didn't even touch net. It just that's what it did.
God, I was so pissed.
Couldn't have gone in any cleaner.
Nope.
Then we get the inbound in. Don hikes up the most just half-ass dog shit 3 you've ever seen. But don't worry. Plenty of seconds after the clock, Darius is there to catch it and do a sweet move to try to win the game. Fuck out of here, Darius. Love you to death. But that was bullshit.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, we were literally going, LOL. These guys are fucking stupid. Turns out we're stupid. But it is what it is. We're Cleveland fans. So Don Mitchell at the 2. Jason Tatum, go ahead and give it to Jason Tatum. Give it to Giannis. And I'll give it to Karl-Anthony Towns. I think Karl-Anthony Towns, if you were going to give me a Nick that should be an all-star this year, it is Karl-Anthony Towns. So
I agree. But having 2 Knicks when they're what place are they in the
brother in
right
Christ, now? Dude. I mean,
they
can't be top 5. Are they top 5? 4?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they
okay.
Are. They're 3. They're 3. But they're not number 1, I can tell you that. They're not number 1. The number 1 team only has 1 representative starting.
You're telling me that Darius Garland, I mean, Darius should be an all. If we're talking about who should be an all-star, I know that just forget everything I just said the last 3 minutes. Darius Garland's an all-star. If we're doing handouts like this. If we're putting 2 guys in there from the, I mean, come on, dude. This is my favorite show today. I ride my dog Bealo 20 km to watch it. Nicole Beavers, how you doing, sweet lips? You doing all right?
20 kilometers using the metric system. Not a boy.
I've missed you. Dude, look at Dale on his phone. Can you see him? Look at him moving in real time. Something we've never seen before.
I know. I only have 10% of my phone because I forgot to charge it.
Better charge it. By the way, here's the Wemby thing from earlier. Look at this.
Champagny the rebound. Victor.
Gosh.
Yeah, fuck this guy, dude. Took him for under 26, under 28 and a half points today. Or 26, I don't know. He scores 30. He had he was like under in the fourth quarter, then just went ham. So you gotta love it. But yeah, so all-star starters. I assume we're gonna get the rest of the lineups here, or the rest of the rosters here in the coming weeks. We got All-Star Weekend, and I guess 3.5 weeks or so, sometime in sometime second week of February or something like that. So we will obviously keep you updated on that. So East and West All-Star starters announced.
I feel like everybody thinks I'm a totally different person.
Boys, there's only one more thing to do before we get into these games.
What is that?
I was going to show you the gum I sat in, but I'm actually just going to pull up this fucking... So the All-Star, we talked at length about the All-Star the other night, the MLB All-Star lineup, or the All-Star, or not the All-Star, the Hall of Fame inductions, which obviously Billy Wagner, Ichiro, and who's the other guy? Ichiro, CC Sabathia, the Yankee, CC Sabathia, the fucking Yankee, the guy that says, "Oh, I'm going to go in as a Yankee because they wanted me." No, they bought you. And you know who? You know why they bought you? Because the fucking Guardians/Indians turned you into a fucking star, CC, you fat fuck. That's why they bought you. So this whole, I'm going to go in as a Yankee because they wanted me. What does that even mean? What does that mean? the Guardians didn't pay you the same money the Yankees paid you.
We can't
Get out of
afford
here.
it.
So anytime CC Sabathia gets a chance, he always puts Cleveland down as the second tier, and it just so be it, dude. It's like if Poulos went in as a fucking angel. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe not like as crazy because CC did have a somewhat good career. You know, he won a World Series with the Yankees, but
Yeah.
I mean, guy turned into CC Sabathia in Cleveland, so kind of skeet that he went in as a Yankee. But only 3 guys the other day. We talked about Ryan Braun. We kind of went through all the list and gave you our thoughts about who in the coming years could be possible Hall of Famers. We talked about how it's going to be kind of getting thin here. We're kind of get to that point where we've inducted all the legends for the most part. There are a few more legends on that list that have got years left on the eligibility left. So we'll see what happens with them. But as far as new classes and new players coming in, we are getting thin. I mean, they are putting in guys like I said, Ryan Braun, and I mean, Gio Gonzalez was on the thing next year. You know, who else did we
Troy
say? It was like Gio.
Tulowitzki, or I guess Tula was this year. Yeah, it was Dustin Pedroia. Yeah, it wasn't very good. The induction class or the first timers this year do not excite me in any way, shape, or form.
And sorry if I've been talking over you guys. You guys, I have had you muted for the last 40 seconds. So I've just been chatting.
Shit. Poor Dale.
You ever
and
see
I
the
were
movie
trying
Fan
to
with
work.
what'd you say?
Exactly.
Yeah. I wasn't listening anyway. That's the catch here. Damn, you got that Obama phone Pro Max 5G. All right, so here are the upcoming first-time eligible starting pitchers coming up in the next 2025? So next 4 or 5 years. So next year we got Cole Hamels, which we talked the other day. We think Cole Hamels could probably be the guy. Be in there. John Lester, David Price in 28, Strasburg in 28, Kluber 29, Wainwright 29. Out of these 6 guys, give me 2 guys, or I mean, you can tell me whoever. I guess give me whoever you think is going to make it. But who are 2 guys that you think are 100% locks to make the Hall of Fame? And then give me who you think out of this list in general. Who of this list is going to make the Hall of Fame, and who do you not think should be in the Hall of Fame? I don't care who starts. Front office, you start.
Okay, so can you give me the rule, like all of these players, or do you?
So give me out of these 6 players, give me 2 guys that you think are locks to make the Hall of Fame, and then go ahead and just give me if there's any other guys on there that you think are in the Hall of Fame. Give me those, but then also if there's any guys you don't think are going to make the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Gotcha. So there wasn't a set number. That's what I was asking.
No.
Okay, straight up, I don't think Steven Strasburg is a Hall of Famer. Did he have the high peaks that you need to have a Hall of Fame level career? Yes. But the longevity is not there for him, in my opinion. I think, to me, I think Adam Wainwright is a Hall of Famer. He had a long career, probably the longest out of anyone else on this list. Actually, that's not even debatable, I think. I think he definitely had the longest career and definitely had the most years of dominance. Corey Kluber, as much as I love him, I don't think is an all-star. Had dominant years without a doubt. Not sure that he had the tenure to do it, though. A lot like Steven Strasburg. The peaks were really high, but to me, it's competitive in this Hall of Fame. Like, you have to give me 5-ish years of dominance as a starting pitcher to even be in the conversation. I fucking hate John Lester.
Dude,
I don't know what to do with him, so I can't to me he's not a Hall of Famer, but I also don't know his stats that well, to be completely honest with you. He did have a good number of years in the league. He fits the bill as a guy that I would hate but would still be a Hall of Famer.
Cardinal legend, dude.
Cardinal legend, yeah. How could we forget? Cole Hamels, I think, is a hard one for me, because he was very. He had a long career for sure, and definitely had some really good dominant years, but I don't know that he was ever like the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think at any point in his career did you look at Cole Hamels and go, man, you might be the best pitcher in the MLB or top 5. And that's tough to give, but I think he definitely has enough years of solid performance to maybe sneak in. And David Price, to me, is even more difficult. I like David Price. I thought he was a good pitcher. I'm not sure he was a great pitcher. I could definitely be wrong. I don't know the total stats there, but
so let me tell you. Let me read before you finish your thoughts on these two. Before we go over to Dale, let me tell you these two guys' career stats real quick. So John Lester, just so he can know this, and then you can maybe change your mind on this or not. John Lester, 200 win career, so 200. So he had 200 wins, 117 losses. He had a 3.66 ERA. And he pitched 2,704. So 43 and a half WAR.
The 200 wins is definitely a statement. The rest of the numbers don't do it for me.
NLCS MVP. He's a 5-time All-Star, and 3-time World Series champion.
God, okay, fine. He's getting in. Whatever.
He's probably getting in. Okay,
whatever.
So that's John Lester. David Price, 157 wins, 82 losses, 3.3 ERA career. Cy Young, 5-time All-Star, 2-time ERA title, and 2018 World Series champion. He might be a fucking All-Star. He might go in there too.
The fact that David has a Cy Young behind his name, 100%
under 100 losses is pretty cool too.
Yeah, and you said 157. It's only 50 off of John.
And didn't he miss quite a bit of time with? Because I know Lester missed time with the cancer, right? Didn't he? Lester missed time because he was sick, and then David Price missed some time, I think, too. But I know Lester missed time with. Didn't he miss cancer time?
No, I'm not sure.
I thought Lester had John Lester. Yeah, I thought he had cancer for sure. John Lester, or his wife had cancer. Somebody had cancer. John Lester. Cancer. John Lester, former MLB pitcher, was diagnosed with anaplastic large cell lymphoma, a type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, during his rookie season with the Red Sox. He underwent chemotherapy and returned to play, so he missed 11 months.
Gotcha. So yeah, I guess I'll say that John, David, and Adam get in, and Cole, Steven, and Corey don't. That's where I'm at. Split down the middle.
Dale?
Cole Hamels is tricky. Don't think he gets in. John Lester, after hearing his numbers, are not as sexy as I'd like, but 3 World Series rings and that probably gets in. David Price is such a fucking tricky one. It's close. He probably gets in on a year that is not stacked. Steven Strasburg, I remember since 2010, there are 3 players that I remember stopping what I did to watch their opening games. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., obviously for being a Jays fan. Steven Strasburg, me and Nelson purposely watched a May outing where he pitched 7 innings and struck out 13. I think it was against the Pirates. And Paul Skeens, I stopped what I was doing last year to watch. But he's just if he could have just hung on for a couple more, like front office probably said it the best. There was 3 electric years and then a whole bunch of nothing.
I don't think anybody had more hype in this list coming out of college than Steven Strasburg. I think Steven Strasburg is probably the most hyped guy on this list coming out.
100% agree with that. That guy was a phenom, literal phenom,
and just couldn't stay healthy.
Absolutely. Corey Kluber. It's crazy because I was just like, why is Corey Kluber on that list? I'm like, oh yeah, Corey Kluber's one of Cy Young and quietly done his thing. Like, good for you, Corey Kluber, that you're even in this conversation. Good for you, like, in all seriousness. And Adam Wainwright the better question is Adam Wainwright a first ballot Hall of Famer? Adam Wainwright is the safest of all of these 6 to get in. but is Adam Wainwright a first ballot Hall of Famer? I think it's close.
So he's got 200 wins, 128 losses, 3.35 ERA, Clemente Award, 2-time Gold Glove, 3-time All-Star, Silver Slugger, and he was a 2006 World Series champion.
I forgot he liked to swing the bat. He
liked to swing the bat, dude. He had a bat.
Him and Madison Bumgarner were like the two National League pitchers that could legitimately hit.
Yeah,
and like
he had
legitimately
home
hit
runs.
me like 200, hit like 220, but could legitimately you just couldn't throw fastballs up there because they could turn on him.
Dude, it was wild because like pitchers didn't, they didn't do that. They don't do it now at all, but even back then it was uncommon.
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with you guys. I definitely think I just so we can get some football in here before Dale has to go. I agree. I think, Wainwright's going to get in there. I think Price and Lester are going to get in there. And I do think Cole Hamels, just before we get off here or off the subject, let's see what Cole Hamels was. I don't know why I didn't look him up. Cole Hamels, 163 wins, 122 losses, 3.4 ERA, 4-time All-Star, 2008 World Series, NLCS MVP, World Series MVP. So that's not bad either.
Cole
all these guys.
I think Cole has a better chance than Strasburg or Kluber, but I think he's like still in that like fourth tier looking up. Like I think Adam gets in over him if Lester and Price are locks. I think Adam's the guy going in and Cole's the one not.
Yeah, I think I can agree on that for sure. All right, well, let's move on to football. All right, so this weekend, obviously, last weekend of football for the big one. We got the two championship games. There's a reason why we're all here tonight, even though it's an hour and 13 minutes of bullshit beforehand. That's what we do here, baby. But 30 minutes of those we were fucking around trying to get everything going. But
sorry,
you're good, dude. I am so overjoyed with how clear this looks.
This is the new thing.
Let's start with that. Yeah, this is a new thing. Let's start with the NFC. So we're going to go. This is the first game of the two on Sunday. So Sunday we've got a 2:00 game and a 5:30 game. The 2:00 game is Commanders at Eagles. The Eagles obviously just beat the Rams. 28-22, they beat the Rams. Commanders, and they had the Eagles had the first round bye. Commanders, they had to play in the wild card. They actually beat the Bucs, who we just talked about a minute ago. They beat the Bucs 23-20, and then obviously upset the Lions in the divisional round, 45-31. Jayden Daniels having a hell of a rookie year. This is going to be a banger of a matchup. Two high-powered offenses, two mobile quarterbacks. I think these are two teams playing at their absolute best right now. We've got, you got Saquon Barkley, who's just going crazy. These is, I think most of us thought it was going to be Eagles, Lions in this one. But that's just the way it is. So, I think we've got 3 of the 4 best teams in football playing football this weekend. And you can't count out the Commanders especially in a divisional game, especially after coming off a win like that on the Lions. So, front office, I'll turn it over to you before we go. So I'll start with you. What are you feeling about this game? So far they before you start, they're 1-1 on the year. So they've played twice this year. Obviously, division games. They're 1-1. They in week 11 they played in Philly. Philly they won. The Eagles won 26-18. Hurts had a pretty good game. Not 18 of 28, no passing touchdowns, 221 yards, 10 rushes, 40 yards, and a tutty. Jay McDaniels, 191 yards, 7 for 18 on the ground, no tutties, 1 touchdown, 1 interception to the air. And Saquon has gone crazy in both these games. So second game is in Washington, 36-33 Commanders. So they're 1-1. Do you think? What do you think going into this game? How do you think this is going to shake out?
So first, I know that the daily derelicts have not been going very well. Everybody +6 on the Commanders. Okay, that's the bet this week. First of all, like I 100% believe that. As far as who I think is going to win this game, Saquon's going to go nuts again. I am very confident that Saquon is going to lose his damn mind on Sunday in this matchup. the key to winning for the Eagles is going to be, what do we get from Jalen Hurts? He was fine last week, but not exceptionally so. This is going to be a really good game. I'm surprised that 36-63 is the matchup predictor down there. I feel like it should be a little closer to like 57-43 or something like that. Because if you go back 1 week and think about the team the Commanders played, how many of us actually had them beating the Lions?
Well, yeah, not many.
Not many at all, right? Without a doubt. This could very well be a close game where we don't know how it's going to happen, but the Commanders could win. Like, seriously, I think it's at least, like I said, 57-43 to the Eagles, but there is a world in where the Commanders do win this game. The Eagles beat up on a team last week in the Rams that I not sure should have been in the playoffs to where they were, excuse me. And they kind of struggled against them too. They did win, obviously, but what was it, like 28 or something to 21 or something? It was within
22.
28-22. Okay, yeah, so within a touchdown. This game's going to be predicated on, can Jalen Hurts do enough, and can the Eagles defense find a remedy for Jayden Daniels, who has been balling. Just put up 45 against the Lions. Obviously not the same caliber of defense as what's going to come with the Eagles, but man, this is exciting football. Like I said, I'm going to take Commanders +6, but I think the Eagles do win this game, but I think it's ugly and it doesn't look good. And you go into, that next week and feeling unsure.
Yeah, I mean, so Dale, before we get to you, so a few more numbers for you. So in the second game was the game, that Week 16 game that they played in, was the game that Jalen Hurts got the concussion. He only threw like 4 balls, didn't play very much. Kenny Pickett came in and finished the game. Jayden Daniels did ball in that game, 24-39, 258 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He had 81 yards on the ground. I mean, the guy was just went out of his fucking mind. I mean, that second game, but again, against Kenny Pickett, Jalen Hurts didn't get to play, and then he missed the next 2 weeks. But like Front Office said, Saquon has gone crazy in both these games. I mean, Saquon this year against the Washington Commanders, he has just ran up their ass. In Week 11, he was 26 for 146 yards, 2 tutties, and then Week 16, 29 for 150 and 2 tutties. So I mean, guys got 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2 games on them this year. So I would assume that that's probably going to continue.
It's going to happen again.
It's going to happen probably again. So Dale, what do you think about this? So how do you think this is going to go, and who do you got winning?
All right. Well, I'll bang off this and the Bills, and then I'll go to watch my son get a Taekwondo belt. Ready, set, go. Okay. You cannot bet the Eagles now because you had 4.5. That line is totally gone. If you're betting the Eagles now, you're an idiot. The right side is to bet the Commanders, and I 100% agree. I can see a scenario where Washington hangs close. I can see the Eagles shit kicking them by 21.
Fair.
What's the total? Just curiosity.
48.5.
47 and a half? Or 48?
Well, me betting unders last week really worked well. Man, gun to head, I'd either take you take the Commanders or you take the under. I hope this game is fun, but like, if this was a Week 11 game, I wouldn't bet it because there's too many variables that all make that. Can you please put on your Taekwondo stuff? Okay, I will be helping you in 2 seconds. You didn't forget it. Just check out there. Give me 2 seconds. Just relax. I'll be there in 2 seconds. Love you to death. Anyways, fast. Everybody hates Kansas City. Everybody, if you are not a Kansas City resident or a Taylor Swiftie, the world is on the Bills because we don't want to see Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So, I guess we're all jumping through a burning fucking table, or that dude that tried to break his neck jumping through the table, like giving the elbow pose. Yeah, I think I'm not begrudgingly. I am just blind betting rage against Kansas City. That game is legitimately a coin flip. Kansas City can't keep winning these games that way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's okay. I'm willing to lose a unit on Buffalo in a game that I think is a coin flip game. The other game, I'm so confused. And Nick, whatever you want to bet, tell me to bet. I put it in the Derelict, and I will bet it. But I have no strong opinions on that other game.
Okay, well, two things really quick. One, so for the Eagles-Commanders game, I looked up. I was trying to see what they've did. They've only played one time in the playoffs ever. They've only played head-to-head one time ever, and that was in 1990. The wild card. Commanders won. So, this is I thought for sure these teams have played before, but the Commanders are pretty ass, so that does make sense. For the Bills, though, Bills have not beat the Chiefs in the playoffs since the 94 AFC Championship game.
Wow. That's Joe Montana being the quarterback.
And they went, that was when, you're talking about when, Montana was the quarterback, and that was when they went to the Super Bowl. The Bills went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Cowboys 30-13. So they got smoked in the Super Bowl. But so this is, if the Bills are going to pull something off this weekend, it's going to be a long time coming. So you go get the kid ready for Taekwondo. Tell him we said good luck. Next time tomorrow, or when we go live tomorrow, be on your phone. This is beautiful. I love it. This is gorgeous. Figure it out. This has been great. Hopefully tomorrow we can start our streak of problem-free streams where we can just hop on here and just go.
If it happens again tomorrow, it's 2 in a row, and it's a streak.
2 in a row, because now that we're not doing, we're still on Kick, but this is more going to be like a couple hours of us chatting, and then like obviously like when we're hanging out, like those will be longer, just like free ball and hanging out. But like, yeah, these will just like get in, bang out, talk with the shit that's going on, and get out and do our thing. But this is much better. Just hop on here. We know it works. We'll go from there.
Perfect.
All right, dude. We'll have a good night at Taekwondo.
You bet. We'll catch up. You guys too. Have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Night, boys.
All right, so let's move over to the other game then. I thought I had it pulled up, but I don't. So let's pull it up here. All right, Bills at Chiefs. So like I said a minute ago, Bills have been a long time. Bills have not won since 94. I was 1 year old. Front office was born that year. Okay, front office was, and I would assume in the 94 AFC Championship game, you probably weren't born yet. You were probably about to be born.
Yeah, close, but probably not.
I was standing outside. I was walking around Forder Oaks Circle waiting for you to get there for a year, another couple weeks at this point.
Damn.
So it's been a long time. Chiefs 4-2 all time in playoffs against them. So it's including the last couple of years they've gotten the better of them. I mean, the last couple of years this has kind of been the game that we've been waiting on. Bills can never get over the hump. Chiefs are always getting some calls, some bullshit. You know how it goes. So this is the matchup. It's either Ravens Bills versus the Chiefs. It's who's going to play the Chiefs, who's going to lose to the Chiefs, and what are we going to watch the Chiefs play? Who are we going to watch the Chiefs fuck? So. A lot of people saw today think it's going to be Chiefs Eagles. I think somebody, some pet or somewhere picked Chiefs Eagles, and everybody's on that. But we'll see. I think, like Dale said, we're all rooting for the Bills this week. They only played once this year. They played Week 11. The Bills beat them this year. Allen went off 27 of 40, 262, touchdown, interception, 12 for 55, and a touchdown run. Mahomes 23 of 33. 196 yards, 3 tutties, and 2 interceptions. So 2 interceptions, something you don't see from Patrick Mahomes very often. Still 3 touchdowns, so not a bad day from him either. Bills are coming off 2 games that they didn't get the bye. Chiefs got the bye. Bills beat the Broncos, kicked the Broncos 31-7 in the wild card, and then beat the Ravens last week 27-25 on the Mark Andrews drop. Mark Andrews put out a statement today, which is pretty. I mean, they are. I know we shared something on Instagram today that was I'd play it, but Instagram, I'll send it to you after this. I know YouTube's going to hit us with. We've gotten copyrights the last 2 nights. Thankfully, one of them didn't.
No.
Like literally 1/2 a second of NHL. Like I showed an NHL fight last night because Ryan Reeves. If anybody didn't see the Ryan Reeves fight last night, go see it. That was fight of the year, unbelievable. But I had it unmuted for about half a second, muted it, and sure as shit, NHL claimed that shit. No effect. But I'm like, you slimy bitch. So I'm not gonna play it. But all jokes aside, Mark Andrews, he is getting fucking railed right now, and it is unfortunate. So let's maybe lay off Mark Andrews. Shout out to Bills fans for donating.
We don't
all
want
that
him to
money.
off himself, right? Like we
Yeah.
want you alive, Mark. You don't.
We want
deserve
him alive, and like I said, shout out to Bills fans donating all that money to his charity. You know, that was cool. Shout out to Lamar going over to him and giving him a hug on the side. Like, so shout out to all them. But yeah, you know, big drop, catastrophic drop 2 years in a row. So we are going to. So the Bills get rid of the Ravens, which again, I really do feel much more confident with the Ravens playing the Bills, or the Bills playing the Chiefs and the Ravens. I just
really see. I feel differently.
Do you?
I feel differently. Here's the thing: that game last week, in my opinion, happened that way in part due to the snow. I think if you play that game without the snow, I think that might be different.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
Maybe
I could be wrong.
And look, the books are thinking the same way because I mean, look, we got the Bills at I think it was actually no, I don't know if we have, but I believe they were 1.5. Now they're up to 2. You know, so they're going the other way. I mean, yeah, it definitely could be. I mean, the Ravens kicked the shit out of the Bills the last time they played them when there was no weather factor earlier this year. I did see a funny tweet where some lady was like, my dad ate a edible and watched the Bills Ravens game from earlier in the year instead of the playoff game because he's like, man, the Ravens really looking well. He's like, what do you mean they lost? He goes, lost. He goes, isn't the game on NFL Network? He was like watching the replay from earlier in the year.
No,
which is so funny. Who even knows if that's true? But it's a funny tweet.
But yeah, no. Look, here's the thing: if Kansas City and the Ravens play, there is a non-zero chance that Lamar is so dialed in that the Chiefs can't fight back. They do not have that high-powered offense that they've had in past years. They don't. It's true. If Rice was there, you know, it might be a different story. But at least right now, and Worthy kind of being a little banged up, you know what I'm saying? Nuke is not what he was in past years. Like, there is a chance that the Ravens come out and absolutely boat race the Chiefs. I don't think that's a possibility with the Bills. I know that Josh is exceptional, and I know that James Cook is very nice, but they don't have the other offensive weapons, in my opinion, to really put up a hell of a lot of points quickly. They have great pieces, right? They can hold in any game, in my opinion. But if it was the Ravens, there's at least a 10% chance that by the end of the first quarter, everyone in Kansas City is so stunned that they just start walking out of the stadium. I don't think that can happen with the Bills on Sunday. Very well could be wrong. I think that we are guaranteed a better game with it being the Bills Chiefs. I'll say that. 100% this is going to be must-watch football, at the very least. I don't see the Chiefs blowing them out. I don't see the Bills blowing them out. I think this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, so Action's got him at +1.5 still. So I was looking at it. So I was like, yeah, I swore it was +1.5. Damn, if we can get +2, I might take the Bills. Yeah, I definitely think that I agree. I mean, yeah, if the Chiefs get down, Chiefs go down 21-0 or something, then it's not gonna be one of those years where they go down, they come out in the first half and get dogged, and then they come out in the second half and they make a miracle run. I mean, maybe you never know. I mean, you've seen crazier things happen with the Chiefs, but I'm leaning on I'm leaning into heavily to the side that if they go down big, they're not gonna be able catch up to the Bills. Now, if they get into the Bills come out bullshitting and they are in a close game and within a field goal or something like that, and they let the Chiefs, hang around and it comes down to a one kind of score thing in the fourth quarter, obviously I think most of us would favor the Chiefs in that situation. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I definitely. I am glad the Bills won because I mean, fuck the Ravens. I'm already very anti-Ravens, but
you already know.
But I just think that Lamar, man, I just think that, look, I think Lamar had a great season, and as much as I think he could very well get his third MVP this year, I just trust Josh Allen and Lamar, and I know neither one of them have really done shit when it comes to getting to the playoffs and doing anything, but I just think that you're looking at, I just think Josh Allen is a guy that I think you're looking at a guy that, has a chip on his shoulder this year. He's really doing, I think that narrative of him not having any weapons and him not being able to do shit, I think really got to him. And I mean, I think he's out on a mission, and I think that they're on the right. I mean, they went out and got Amari Cooper, and they don't even use him, and they're still, full steam ahead.
No doubt. No doubt.
I definitely think that they are the better team to play. I think they're the better team, probably top to bottom. But I definitely, you never know with the Chiefs. So I'm looking for Josh Allen to have a big day. I think Josh Allen will have a good day. I think both quarterbacks are going to have a big day. I think the Chiefs know that the Bills mean business, and I think if the Chiefs do lose, I don't think they're going to go down without a fight. So I think I think we're going to look
100%.
for Josh Allen to have a big game. Probably more. I think Josh Allen's going to have a big game through the air and probably through on the ground. I think you're going to probably see. I would not doubt to see him score through the air and on his feet in this game.
I feel pretty confident that this game is going to be decided by 3 points or less. I'm not super confident on who I think is going to win, but I feel like a spread either way of 3 points is like not necessarily guaranteed, but extremely high probability.
Yeah, so I agree. I mean, so they're both. Yeah, I mean this is going to be this should be a great game. I hope it turns out to be a great game. And I mean, we're both teams. The majority, they're healthy. I mean, obviously you got no new guys that are hurt. Like these guys are playing with guys that are. Well, it looks like all these guys. Look at these. All of these guys are going to play on the 26th. So it looks like the Bills are coming into this super ready to go. Estimated return date for everybody on this list is January 26th. So it looks like they're getting Matt Milano, Christian Benford, Teron Johnson, Taylor Rapp, Balin Spector. All of them are coming back for the Bills. And then obviously the Chiefs will be without Hardman, Tua Pilato, Sky Moore, Cochran, Schrader. So those guys have been out for a minute, all on IR. They're not going anywhere or coming back anytime soon. But I mean, the Bills are going to be healthy. Two majority healthy teams. I mean, this is, like I said earlier, I think we're getting the four best teams, or the three of the four best teams. I mean, shout out to Jayden Daniels and the Commanders for getting through the Lions and making it this far. But and as much as this very well could be a close game, and I think it will be a close game, but would I be surprised if the Eagles go out there and just absolutely dominate the Commanders? No, because I also think that at some point, I watched a video earlier today of on some other guy's podcast today of his reasoning on why Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue one way or the other. I think talent wise, I think you probably got to give it to Lamar. He's the two MVPs, maybe a third, but the guy made a good point on look, Jalen Hurts is a proven winner. Like, it doesn't matter if he doesn't go out there and throw for 300 yards, like, he still finds a way to get his team a victory. And unlike, he's been to a Super Bowl, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl. Lamar's always kind of gotten to the playoffs, no meaningful playoff victories, never seen a Super Bowl. He just always kind of flutters when it's time when the lights come on. So it's one of those things where, yeah. So I mean, if I think that we could see Jalen Hurts, come in there and show that kind of experience, and the rest of those guys too. I mean, the rest of those guys, they've been in the playoffs. You got Jayden Daniels and the Commanders, who they haven't even been in this position in 30 some odd years. I think is what they said it was. It was like 30 something years since they'd been to a conference championship. So 30. I guess what I say was when did they play? No, it was wild card. They played the Eagles, so that wasn't even. So yeah, it's been 33 or 34 years since the Commanders have been in a championship game. So I think that could play a factor. I think Jayden Daniels, the lights could be too bright, but then again, they couldn't be. I mean, Jayden Daniels has got a swagger about him with it that has not, he doesn't get too flustered. I mean, the Bears game earlier this year, the Hail Mary, I think that was the start of it. Everybody's like, well, holy fuck, this guy is something. And then, didn't get flustered, throws that pass, wins the game. And then, goes out there last week and everybody goes, they have no chance in this game. The Lions are going to fuck them up. And he goes out there and plays, a hell of a game, gets the dub.
Yeah.
So you never know what's going to
No
happen,
doubt.
but I definitely think that we've got 3 of the 4 best teams and then a team that is playing very well right now in the Commanders. But I would be lying if I was saying that I am not a little sad that we're not getting Eagles Lions, but whatever.
Yeah, I think that game would be fantastic. I think the Eagles would win. Strangely enough, I almost feel better about Washington having a better chance against the Eagles than the Lions would. I think the Eagles have enough firepower to keep up with the Lions. And I know that the defense on the Eagles is a lot better than the defense on the Lions, but because of injuries, but nonetheless. Washington could very well put a stinker out. And it's one of those things that, rookie quarterback, right? I know he's playing out of his mind, like you said, but it could happen. It realistically could happen. It could be a blowout. I don't think that the Eagles-Lions game would be a blowout, and I think that the Lions would be able to keep it close. But I don't think that the Lions would be able to beat the Eagles. Like I think that the defense is good enough, and I think that the Commanders could beat the Eagles just because of how well they played last week. I guess maybe that's just a little recency bias, but I don't really have a rhyme or reason for why I feel that way. It's just I feel like if the Eagles and Lions played 10 times, the Eagles would win 10. If the Eagles and the Commanders play, 8-2 or something going to the Eagles maybe or something like that. I didn't see a world where that banged up defense would be able to actually handle and stop the Eagles when it mattered, especially in the run game.
Yeah, I mean, they're both banger matchups. I definitely think that I
They
don't
are.
know. I
They
mean, like I said, I Saquon Barkley is going to be a problem for. I definitely think Saquon. I think he is like the secret weapon here. I mean, Washington, man. I mean, he just owns Washington. So I mean, if Washington can get the Saquon problem under like if they can make this a Jalen Hurts game and make this like a, and I know everybody likes to say that, and then Jalen Hurts, still finds ways to win, which he does. But I mean, if you can somehow solve the Saquon puzzle, or at least keep it to a minimum, they might have a chance in this game. I definitely think that because see, I think that I would say that I think the Lions have more chance against than the Commanders, but but you never know. I mean, it's divisional. They could come in and they're always going to play them tough. I mean, they're always going to come in. But you've seen in the last couple of years where like the NFC East, they're either really close games or you've seen some blowouts. I mean, you've seen the Eagles, and these guys get, there's been some pretty big games in there for a few of these teams, and I definitely think that if Dan Campbell, I mean, who knows, Dan Campbell could have gotten there and done some crazy shit, but I definitely think that they match up so well with the Eagles as far as they've got. You've got Amon Ra, who's going to be taking care of, Quinion Mitchell can only guard so many people. And then you've got Laporta and Gibbs and the way they get their running backs involved and stuff. I just think that it creates problems for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, the Commanders, man, Brian Robinson's playing well. You got Jane Daniels, Terry McLaurin. I mean, they are really playing. Everybody is playing well at the right moment. Everybody's like playing their best ball. So it's gonna be a good game. I mean, I'm gonna be super fucking sad if the Commanders win this game. But I wish Jayden Daniels and all these fun players didn't play for such a shit organization, but they do. And I don't know, but I do think that say that the Commanders beat the Eagles this week and they go in, I think they get fucking house. I just think they get shit kicked by either team they play in the AFC.
100% agree. I don't think that there's any way that ends up any different than what it's
Who do you think they have a better
chance?
chance against? You think they got a better chance against the? So part of me almost thinks they have a better chance against the Chiefs than they do against the, because I think the Bills, like, again, the Bills are a
100%.
team, they just you don't see the Chiefs do that to people this year, and I just think that
No, because the offense is underpowered. If the Commanders somehow win, you will definitely, honestly, even if the Eagles win, you have a better chance of beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, which is weird to say, than the Bills, no matter what. If the Bills actually do beat, well, but then there's that thing like they finally conquered they conquered the demon. They finally got over the hill and they take a breath, and that breath was too soon. It's either they're going to come out of the Bills I'm talking about. They're either going to come out at the Super Bowl and blow whoever the hell is across from them out of the water, or they're going to put up like 7 points and be, inept. No matter what, the Chiefs will not blow out their Super Bowl opponent. I feel pretty confident in that.
yeah.
So I guess you'd rather have the shot of that. I guess you'd rather take it's going to be close, we just got to have the ball last kind of deal, than the potential for nobody can stop the Bills.
So who do you got? So give me your Super Bowl. Who do you got in the Super Bowl, and who do you got winning then? If you got, I mean, we'll obviously, our thoughts might change after this weekend, and we'll get to, obviously we'll get to the Super Bowl. We'll break down the Super Bowl, and we'll talk in depth about the Super Bowl.
So this year I have the Cleveland Browns going to the Super Bowl, and beating fucking anybody.
I meant this year, this Super Bowl.
I know. I was just living in the moment. Okay.
I was gonna say the Browns next year are locked. I've already bought tickets. Like, I've already got tickets
already
to
purchased,
the Super Bowl, and I'm like, they're like, for what? I'm like, well, the Browns are coming. They'll be here. Don't worry.
What does it matter? What do you mean?
Shador Sanders, Dion head coach. Dion's our head coach by week 8.
Dude, what could go wrong?
All right, so who do you got? So who you got in the Super Bowl, and who you got winning?
I fucking hate it. I really do. I have Eagles, Chiefs winning. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm gonna go.
I feel confident the Eagles are going to be there. Wait, what?
I'm gonna go Eagles, Bills.
Dude, please, God, anything but the Chiefs. I don't care.
And I think
I just don't see it. Look, there's a reason that they're talking about maybe this is the year, because every other fucking year hasn't been it. That's the fact of it. Definitely. They couldn't beat him with Diggs. They couldn't beat him with one of the best defenses in the league. Josh couldn't beat him, by himself last year or 2 years ago. Dude, I fucking hate it. I don't want to be that person. And partly I'm saying this because I tend to talk the thing that I don't want to happen tends to happen to me. As you always like to tell me, I tend to speak it into existence.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to do that here.
It's only when you are the only thing. The only time you ever jinx anything is when you 100% say this is happening. You're like, oh, that's a lock. And then you could just run and then just whatever, but your entire life savings on it not being a lock. But I like it. I mean, if we can reverse psychology, the Eagles and Bills or something. I mean, let's get the Chiefs the fuck up out of here. Little side note here, nothing to do with this whatsoever, but Chris Fedor, Cavs reporter, Amani Bates, who has only played 6 minutes this season, got 2 votes to be an all-star starter from players.
I love it, but why?
I just know 2 players in the NBA voted for him to be starters. That's good shit.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm
Shout out
for
to
it.
Ronnie.
Don't hear what I'm not saying, but
They respect the hustle, dude. They see it. He's coming. Slim Reaper too. Bro,
dude,
we
I
have
hope
not
so.
one view on Twitter today. This has been a derelict today.
Come on,
for
tweet.
sure.
Well, look, we did say some things about His Majesty the Nazi leader. I'm sorry. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Elon, you're still fantastic and doing wonderful things for the world. Don't punish the show,
Yeah, dude, take us off the shadow ban, please.
please.
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna go Bills, Eagles. And I think the Bills win it. I think I'm gonna pick the Bills to win it all. I think they finally
Please.
figure it out. But
I will say that no matter what, the AFC team is winning it this year. Like I like the Eagles and I like the Commanders. I don't see either one of them actually having a chance. Excuse me, in the Super Bowl.
dude,
The game could look like the Falcons game, like the Falcons Patriots game from years ago. It looked just like that. Like, oh my God, they finally did it. They beat Brady. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
yeah. I mean, I have more faith in the Eagles. I think the Eagles can get it done, but I don't think the Commanders can get it done. I think the Commanders get fucked by whoever they play. But I think the Eagles. I mean, I think the Eagles have been there. I mean, even like I said, they play the Bills, and the Eagles have been there. Sirianni's been there. McDermott's never been
No doubt.
there. So I mean, I do
They
think
they
that
definitely have a better chance. Like no
yeah, I
matter
think the
what.
experience there, and like I said, if Saquon you're not if Saquon goes off for 150, 200 yards, you're not beating him. So
Yes.
it's going to be
Yes.
hard to do. But so this just happened a few minutes ago. The Jaguars and Cohen are in active negotiations, barring anything expected. He will be the next head coach. So the guy basically just told the Bucks, fuck off. They offered me more money and said I can hire my own GM. I'm out ski. So looks like the Bucks will be in the market for a new offensive coordinator. And this guy's apparently pretty good. I mean, they had the Bucks playing pretty well this year. I talked about it earlier. Baker had a great year, probably best of his career. Mike Evans had another 1,000-yard career. Bucky Irving emerges. Chris Godwin goes down. They don't miss a beat. Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard had a role this year. I mean, it's
Dude, can't believe that actually. Like seriously,
pretty
that's the
unreal.
fucking
Never got hurt
crazy
throughout
one.
the year either. That's probably the biggest wow of the whole situation. Never got hurt.
Yep.
But yeah,
No
so
concussion.
so a little news there. So that good for the Jaguars. Looks like the Jaguars can put this shit show, or at least part of the shit show, to bed, because now they need a GM. But one step at a time. So the Jaguars have their new head coach. No GM. Bucks have no offensive coordinator. I mean, they're about to make this guy one of the highest paid coordinators in the league, apparently. So,
Yeah.
oh well.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, some guys. I guess I was talking about it before anybody got on earlier. I think that some guys, it's not all about the money. I mean, money is a big deal. It's always going to be important. But you've been a coordinator for a long time. You want to be a head coach bad enough, you're going to take that opportunity. If an NFL franchise calls you and says, we will pay you the same money Ben Johnson just got, and we'll let you pick your own GM. I mean, you've never been a head coach, and that's all you want. I mean, fucking
Yeah,
can't ask
seriously,
much more
it's
than that.
really a no brainer. Like
No
100%.
brainer. And the fucking, there's like the expectations are like they're underground. I mean, there is no expectation. I mean, you got leeway. I mean, who knows if the owner and the organization is giving you leeway, but nobody is expecting anybody to come into
No,
the
yeah, seriously.
Jaguars.
Exactly. Nobody is expecting a bounce back year from the Jaguars next year. Although, legitimately, they have pieces. They do on both sides of the ball. Allen is still a monster on the defensive line. Brian Thomas Jr. looks like a stud. Travis Etienne can be nice. I
Boy,
think,
what a fall off he had, though.
yeah, definitely. And Bigsby looked good, but that could be, you could chalk that up to scheme or something. I don't know. Trevor he's had some bright moments and he's had a lot of not bright moments. I don't know where to put Trevor. Somewhere around 20 probably. Of where I'd put him in like quarterback rankings. 20 to 25 maybe. Yeah, maybe closer to 25. But there has been enough bright spots, and he's still young enough that it's not inconceivable that he could have a resurgent year. Fuck, if Sam Darnold can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, I mean, ain't no doubt about that. I mean, that's gonna be interesting too. I mean, obviously we won't get into that right now, but that we talked a little bit about that on Tuesday, and I don't know. I definitely think that if I was the Vikings, dude, I think I'd just give the keys to Dan. I'd say fuck Sam Darnold. I'd let Daniel Jones play if what's his face isn't ready right off the bat. And then you guys see what you got in the kid. I don't. Sam Darnold. I mean, I would be very hesitant to give him money after no matter how good he was. Just seeing what happened at the very end, it's just like, yep, that's Sam
100%.
Darnold. But yeah, I mean, this we got a good couple weeks. I mean, we got a couple good weeks left of sports left. I mean, obviously we got sports all year, but we're like I was saying earlier, we're almost in that lull period where, I mean, we're in basketball obviously, but we're going into the All-Star break, so it kind of slows down, and then obviously it'll pick up after that. But hockey, the same thing, like it'll die down, pick back up. But no, baseball's not around, football's over. We're basically just waiting for April and May when basketball and hockey both go into the playoffs. We're getting baseball's warming up, so we really gotta hold on to these last. Because I mean, we got the championship game this week, and then what is it? 2 weeks usually between them and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's dire straits. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm, and like I said, admittedly, I'm more excited about baseball this year than usual. So I'm pretty excited to see what. I mean, I don't know. The Dodgers maybe that's actually kind of died down a little bit. That was a couple weeks ago when I said that, where I was like, I think I'm kind of excited about baseball a little earlier than usual, but maybe not now because I mean the Dodgers really have just bought everyone. But hey, shout out to the Guardians for getting Paul Sewald yesterday. Nice pickup for the guards. Nice arm. Probably be the guy that sets up Clase in the 8th. Probably be the new setup guy. I don't know too much about him, but Dale says he's a pretty good guy for one. He's not a elite, but he's definitely a closer in the MLB. So for him to be a 1 year, $7 million deal to be the setup for our guy Clase, not bad.
Yeah, we'll take it, right?
Yeah, I mean, and no pitcher come to Cleveland and get worse the last couple of years. That's for sure. I mean, if anybody's gonna sharpen him up, it's gonna be us. So I mean,
if we can get Matt Boyd to be a stud, we can get anybody to be a stud.
Yeah, I mean, and did Matt Boyd just go get a nice little contract too?
Yeah, he did. So. Yeah, he did. He made some nice money.
Yeah, we just need the Cardinals to do something. Cardinals ain't. I mean, but yeah, that we could spend a whole fucking episode talking about state of the St. Louis Cardinals, but for what?
For what exactly?
For what? Well, there's really not much else that happened today. It's kind of let's update this. Oh, Blues are down 3-1. Dude, I tell you what, we should probably just stop sports betting for like a week because we are pathetically bad right now. I mean, this is.
Think we need a little break?
We might, dude, because this is fucking tragic. Let me see what's going on over here. 22 and a half, 14, 11. Jesus fucking Christ. I picked Tareem Prince to have plus 4.5 points tonight, and he has 0. What is he even doing?
Ooh.
About to leave out of.
Did he even play?
I'm about to be out of my promo money. That's for sure. Let's see.
Come on.
What a fucking
it's not you,
bum. Let's see. Gamecast. What's Tareem Prince doing? Oh, he's taking 2 shots.
Is the game over?
Oh, 15 minutes. No, he's 2 shots, 0 points. Shoot the fucking ball, dude. Unreal. Yeah, we might just need to take a few days off. I tried. Dale's tried. We're just a bad day. Bad couple days.
That'll happen.
It'll happen. All right. Well, yeah. Well, good shit, man. I mean, that's basically what we had on the agenda today. We're just coming. We want to stop by and break down these games. I mean, I know first hour was rough. I mean, we're hammering it out here. We're still trying to figure it out, but I think we, at least for the time being, we've got Dale's connection problem figured out. At least we'll just do it from the phone. I mean, the first half hour was literally just me sitting here not wanting to get into anything, because like I was telling Dale, like if I know I'm going to be by myself, I can do this by myself. But like when you come into this and you're like,
Yeah. You think you
expecting
have
people,
somebody else? No, definitely.
yeah, and then they're gone. I'm sitting here going, yeah, and I didn't want to start talking about anything because I knew he'd be here eventually. So it was a rough start today. So the show didn't really go is the way we expected, but is what it is, right? We're gonna fucking.
That's all right.
Is what it is. I need to make us a PayPal account. I need to get us a seat geek or a promo code or something. I need to get on that, some shit to make us look a little more legit. You know what I'm saying, bub? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. But we gonna figure that out, baby.
Sick, but we're gonna figure it out. But man, shout out to everybody who came to stop by tonight. Cole Pepperson, man, thanks for coming by tonight. Really, really dead night. I mean, that's the first time we've ever been live on Twitter and not had like anybody. I mean, I have never seen that. Zero. I mean, are we
Yeah, I
live
guess
everywhere else?
people might just have like a little, sport break right now. It's like we're kind of in between some shit. So I know we got football, but maybe we're a little early on the football.
Say, are
Maybe
we live?
maybe we'll have a better night tomorrow or Saturday.
Are we not live on YouTube right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
yeah, it says we're streaming to YouTube. Don't worry, baby.
oh yeah. Look at that, live. No viewers. You guys are fucking skeet. Oh well. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday, man. It's been Thursday. Jesus Christ. You guys have a good rest of your Thursday. Tomorrow, what do we got on the agenda? Is that UFC card this weekend? That really good fucking free UFC card, or is that? When is that? Let's see here real quick. Events. When is this? February 1st. No. Never
But
mind.
no, next week. If it's
Next week.
February 1st.
Dude, just ridiculous. One of the best free cards I've ever seen, probably, or at least in a long time. So that'll be good. So we'll break that down. I mean, yeah, rest of the week's kind of slow. I mean, tomorrow we'll hang out. We'll talk. We'll talk a little bit. Just hang out, see what's going on. Talk about what's going on throughout the day. What happened tomorrow throughout the day. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of news to talk about. Hop on here for some games tomorrow night. Maybe do some live betting. But other than that, front office, you got anything you want to say before we head out of here?
No, sir. I'm just chilling. Thank you, boys, for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed the playoff coverage. I feel like it was a lot of back and forth on what we think is going to happen, but it's good content. Stay up on the lines. It can't always go your way. Keep your head up. Keep yourself in the game. Keep yourself in the game, boys. Peace. See you guys next time.
All right, guys. You guys have a good rest of your Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Kick, Twitter, YouTube. God, Twitter. I want to call it X, but it fucks me up every time. So Twitch or Kick, X, YouTube. No Twitch anymore. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 7 o'clock that time. We'll all have a good show. Hopefully Dale gets his shit figured out. See you guys. Peace.